All right, this is for you. Today's topic: nobody is wrong, including my ex-wife. And she was a flaming, but to her credit, she is the finest, most attractive woman I've ever dated. So much so that if she wanted to get back with me, I would probably do it. I consider it, but maybe not do it. So it's probably hard to not be a flaming when you are the most attractive woman ever. But I digress. Back to the topic. Nobody is wrong. We are all one soul in different bodies and different characters having different experiences. But we are all one soul. We are all the universe's energy, or God, as some people would put it. We are all just that energy manifested into different humans having different meaningful experiences, and nobody's experience is wrong. So when you're trying to convince someone is wrong, when you're trying to argue with someone about being wrong, they're not wrong. How could you be wrong? The person that you're arguing with, your significant other, they are just you in a different body. So how can you argue to yourself that you're wrong? I'll describe that more later. Science supports this. So for my science folk, let me give you some evidence. There had to be a first person, which is hard to think about because it's first person a woman or a man. I would assume the first person might have had to be a woman because she had to make the baby. But chicken or the egg? Was it the man? Was it the woman? If you believe biblical stories, there's Adam and Eve. That sounds like we probably had to come from some biblical divine type of story like that, because I'm not really certain how we could have come from one person without there being another person at the same time. That makes evolution seem kind of stupid, doesn't it? But back to the point, science supports that your DNA is encoded with the same DNA that the people before you had, that your ancestors had. So if you take that all the way back up the tree, we all have the DNA of that first person in us. So that means we're all one person, scientifically. Spiritually, bringing this back to the real reality, energetically, we are all the soul of God or the universe in different people's bodies. So I could take this to the most extreme scenarios, like my ex-wife, but I'm not going to defend her. I am going to defend her because I understand her. But I mean, I'm not going to defend murderers or, crazy psychos, because that's not the purpose of my video. I don't care to defend murderers. But what I want you to understand is they are just a product of the different experiences that they had that made them be that way. You are the product of the experiences that you have to make your brain function in the way that it does. So if you're judging that crazy person, you're just judging yourself. Because if you grew up in that crazy person's body and that crazy person's experience, that is how you would manifest. Be thankful that you are not that person and luckily got to be you. Don't judge. Can't judge anyone because you're just judging yourself. And definitely don't judge yourself. Forgive yourself. The worst thing you can do is be hard on yourself. So don't be hard on anyone, because all of our brains are just a product of the paths that we've taken. So for my ambitious people who want to work out, who want to run, who want to make more money, who want to take care of their families, who want to do all of those positive things, that's because your brain formed those pathways as you were growing up from the stimuli that you were receiving. So if you had a positive grandparent as an influence, if you read some positive books, if you had some positive teachers, some positive uncles, aunts, siblings influencing you to think like, man, I gotta have a family, man, I gotta take care of my children, man, I gotta make a lot of money, man, I gotta be happy, man, I gotta have peace. I can't be out here drunk, smoking, drinking. That is something to be grateful for. And you became that person because your brain formed in that way. Some people have other goals that aren't necessarily ambitious, but they're just as meaningful. If somebody wants to be a homeless person in LA is a nice place to be homeless. They have had an upbringing that made them feel like that is the comfortable direction that they want to go. So what if they grew up in a tough household? What if they grew up with all this pressure and negative stimuli, making them hate life and making them hate trying and making them hate do things? And they just were like, you know what? I gotta let all this go. I'm tired of all of this thinking about money, thinking about houses, thinking about rent. I just want to go be homeless, or I just want to go surf, or I just want to go, work a day job and go home and play the game. And that's it. That's my life. That is just as factual and true and important to that person as maybe you taking care of your family and making a lot of money as that is to you. You cannot judge or try to put your perspective on that person because your brain is made up in that way and their brain is made up in their way. And that is just a manifestation of God, of the universal energy in different people. So if the universal energy manifests in your brain in this way and made you that way, and the universal energy manifested in that person and made them that way, then that is just the truth. And that is just the way it is. Don't spend time judging or trying to, be hard or talk about or gossip about other people's and other people's directions. If somebody's committing a crime, somebody might have been hungry enough or have been downtrodden enough to make them think, man, I have to steal something. I have to rob a bank. And that isn't something to judge. Just be thankful that you're not that person. What I'm trying to get to is they must have been in a situation where everything that was in front of them, all that they've gone through, all that they've been through, let them be convinced that, you know what, me trying to rob this bank and the outcome if I succeed, or me going to rob this person or me going to hurt this person, is worth it because I'm in that type of a spot. Or, some people aren't in tough spots and they're just trying to rob to be cool or to get some extra money or to be flashy and stunt. I don't like that type of person. I don't like that train of thought, but I understand if they're in a position where it's like, man, I just want to have more money to go be flashy. They were born in a position to have had the stimuli to make them think being flashy is worth it to them. Now, trying to bring this back a little bit, I also know that people know what's right internally. People know what's wrong internally. And that is where people can be judged. I'm not going to judge people. You shouldn't judge people. That's not our job. But I know that there might be some people who sincerely, from the point of putting a mask on and running up and doing the crime and getting away, they might sincerely have felt that entire time this was right. I needed to do this because I'm struggling. Don't care about that person. They don't exist. I just need to get this to get myself better. But I also know that there are others who probably right before they pull that trigger, right before they do that horrible thing, there's probably a conscience, a light inside of them that's like, I know I shouldn't do this. And when you choose to do it anyway, that's where you can be judged. That's where you're wrong. So universalizing this and giving you something to really think about, you do that every day. I mean, not you, maybe not you, I hope not you. But if there's things that you know you shouldn't be doing, and there's things that you know you should be doing, and right before you go waste that money, or right before you snooze your alarm, or right before you decide not to go to the gym and just sit on the couch, when you are getting that same flash of light that that person who I just described is getting when they're about to do something bad, and you're choosing, I'm gonna do it anyway. You can't judge that person committing a crime when they know they shouldn't, because you're doing the exact same thing in a different body, in a different character. So you might not think you're as bad as somebody robbing people. Yeah. But if you have eaten McDonald's for the 10th day in a row, and you keep telling yourself, I know I shouldn't do this, you're working against your conscience as badly as that other person is. So that is what I want to emphasize in this video. And bringing this back, I just lost my train of thought. I got a little distracted. You're also not wrong when you do go against your conscience if that's where your life took you. Because when that person had that flash of light, they actually can be judged. Let me get even deeper here. When that person's about to commit that crime and they had that flash of light and said, I'm gonna do it anyway, and they still did it and they end up going to jail and now they're doing life or whatever, those people know. There are a lot of people doing life who have peace because they know I chose and I went against that light when it flashed for me, and this is what I get for it. And now they're where they're supposed to be. A lot of people who are in the worst situations that we could ever imagine understand that they're where they're supposed to be. You are where you're supposed to be as well. As pleasant as your situation is, as miserable, nothing's miserable. Be grateful. As miserable as it is, as average as it is, as normal as it is, you are where you're supposed to be to learn what you're supposed to learn. So when you are procrastinating, I don't believe in procrastination, but when you are, turning away from doing a thing that you know you want to do, that is going to lead you to where you need to be. So when you don't start that business or don't try that goal for the nth time, the regret you're going to feel is going to be what stimulates you later to either try it or feel so bad you have a midlife crisis and just change things up, or you just suffer and wallow and then learn your lesson like, wow, I'm still suffering and wallowing because of all the times I said no to the positive thing, the positive light that was telling me that this is what I should do. Either way, you're perfect. Either way, you're not wrong. Either way, you're going in the direction that you are meant to go in this life. So I'm not here to argue about free will, but what I'm trying to convey in this channel is it's already written where you're supposed to go and what you're supposed to be doing. You're doing it. Whether you're doing the more positive, higher things that you should be doing, or whether you're BSing and falling into the same traps and relapsing that you don't want to be doing, that is your life. That is where you're supposed to be. All the things that you shouldn't be doing that you're still doing are going to take you to where you need to end up going, whether that's a great place or a bad place. All the things that you should be doing that you're hitting on, like, man, I have that goal and I chased it. I want to start working out and I'm doing it. I want to fix my relationship and I did it. I want to be a better person and I did it. I want to take care of my children and I did it. Every time you execute on those things, you are going exactly where you're supposed to be going. So don't judge yourself or beat yourself up for anything at all, because nobody's wrong. You wouldn't be lazily laying around if that wasn't what your brain made you out to be and do in that exact moment. That's God manifested in you and all the things that you've been through. Even if it's laying around lazy, that's what God would be doing if God were you and had all the upbringings and brain stimuli that made you lay and do. I don't want to insult God. I know people would, shriek at that. But I'm saying we are all just the same perfect single first human, the same God. We're all just that person in different manifestations going through our lives. And what I really want to hit on about nobody being wrong is there's no need to argue. There's no need to attack your significant other, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your family members, your friends. There's no need to buck so hard against each other. There's need to understand. Now, there are instances where somebody is missing information or misinterpreting a fact or just misrepresenting something. So if it's like, the sky is this color, but you're telling me it's a different color because you want to make me think there are points where you're arguing with somebody and they're just intentionally misleading or intentionally lying because they want to defend a point. But that is what you can deeper understand. So when you're arguing with somebody like your significant other, and it really seems like they just don't get what you're saying, there's a chance that, hey, our brains are made up differently. So you're really sincerely not seeing it the way that I'm saying it. But there are also times when they're just BSing you because they really, really want to get this point across. But that's what you can understand. Like, wow, why is this person willing to mislead or misrepresent and say the sky is a different color because they want to get that thing across? What is so important about them getting that thing across? Maybe it's their ego. Maybe they just want to be right. Maybe they just tired of you being right all the time and all the arguments, and they just really want to be right finally. But they're not wrong for that. That's worth considering. That's worth being considerate of, and that will make you a better person, is if you try to understand deeper and deeper and deeper people and don't try to beat them down or argue or make them see things your way. You can still be right and be on the higher path than they are, but you can give some understanding and credit to their path because that's where they're supposed to be. Now, you shouldn't do this overly so. You don't have to be Buddha. You don't have to be the most understanding person in the world. So if you keep finding yourself clashing because somebody sincerely wants to keep getting BS points across to defend their egos or whatever, take a break. Hey, don't care. Not arguing with you. Not going to that place with you. Not dating you anymore. Not hanging out with you anymore. Because I don't have to give you all of my understanding. You could give me some understanding and understand that I'm trying to I'm trying to be more positive and you're trying to be more negative. It's only positive and negative. That's another point. But don't exhaust yourself trying to be Buddha, trying to be like I'm saying and be the most understanding, best person possible. That's not your job. Your job is to be the best to yourself. So don't argue with anyone. That's kind of the root of this video that I'm making. Nobody's wrong. Don't judge anyone. And especially don't judge yourself. That's what this really all boils back down to. Don't put any pressure on yourself. You have those high goals because that's what your environment stimulated you to do. But still, you're the creator. So if those goals are becoming overwhelming, stretch them out a little bit. I don't have to do that in 2 years. I can do that in 5 years. Who cares? You know what I mean? Don't feel bad for procrastinating. Don't feel bad for being lazy. Do it. Procrastinate, be lazy, and go where that's supposed to take you. Maybe the thing that you're procrastinating on isn't the thing for you. Or maybe that's the negativity trying to stop you from being great. So you need to fight through it and do that thing. Either way, figure it out. Meditate on it. Find yourself. Listen to those thoughts and understand what they're there for. Why can't I finally start this business? Is it because that's going to finally make me great and I'm scared the negativity is making me not want to be great? Or is that not the business that I should be doing and I should be working out more instead? If you aren't so busy scrolling and watching shows and watching movies and wasting time trying to want to run away from that, you would be able to answer those questions for yourself. So when I say nobody's wrong, I especially want to emphasize that it is you that I'm talking about more than it's your spouse or your significant other or your best friend or your mom or your dad. You are not wrong. So chase your dreams, do what you want to do for yourself because you're meant to be that way. You are meant to feel like that and feel comfortable where you're at. Be grateful for where you're at. Don't put pressure on yourself like you need to be somewhere else because all of that pressure is just going to stop you from being able to be your best self. And when you're comfortable, when you're at peace with yourself, that's when all the dreams and ideas and goals start flowing. I live with my mom, which is somewhere I would have dreaded being. That's something that I would have dreaded having to say. But now I'm able to sit back, make my YouTube videos, go to the gym, be the best dad, have the most creative outings for my son. Like, okay, we can go here, we can go here, we can go here, because I have the peace of not like pressured and I got to keep paying rent. I got to keep paying bills. So stop trying to chase. Oh, I got to get a nicer house. Oh, I got to get a nicer car. Oh, I got to take a nicer vacation. Be at peace and find out what it is about where you are that you're supposed to be learning. That is definitely probably the end of this video. That was great. I'm proud of myself again. If you guys are watching it to this far and you're seeing me be proud of myself, I hope that is motivating you to do something to be proud of yourself, because I feel so good and I feel so successful every time I knock out another one of these videos. So next part, day in the life, part 11, I think we're at now. Today is Monday. Friday was the last video. Saturday, worked out early. That was cardio day. Had an amazing day with my son's son, with our son. Remember, I'm trying to start saying our, not my. Went on a little couple excursions, and something so beautiful that happened. He fed me ice cream for 10 minutes. My 2-year-old son was spoon feeding me ice cream as if like how we spoon feed him. He's trying to, my turn. And it was the one of the best moments of my life, like top. And I've done 3-ways before. I've done Colombia before. I've done Vegas. I've done gambling. I've had all the money and blew it all. And this drug, that drug, this drink, that drink. I hate to get so crude after being so deep, but think about what I'm saying. Real success, real joy comes in doing and being the most positive and doing the best thing. So if I've had the best job, the best vacations, the best women, a woman in this state, a woman in that state, I'm finer here, fine here. If I've had all of those things, money below, and I'm telling you all that my son feeding me ice cream blows all of those things out of the water by a mile. Me making these videos, doing what I really want to do with my life, blows those things, sexual things, out of the water. If I'm saying that, I want you guys to really believe it, because you've probably heard of millionaires saying money doesn't make you happy, and you've probably felt frustrated like, oh no, that's him. But if I got the money, or me saying 3-ways doesn't make me happy as much as being internally successful does. You might feel like, no, like I'm trying to go get mine. Go get it. If that's really, really what you want to check out, like, man, if I had all that money, or if I had all those women, or if I had all that sex, I'd be good. If that's how you feel, go get it, go chase it. And hey, I don't know, maybe that is going to make you feel great. But what I'm saying is that was a wall I had to hit. That was a level for me to overcome. So once I did it and found myself there, I ended up here, chasing internal happiness, chasing peace, chasing being a good dad, chasing myself. I would like you to skip that level and get to here, because it's probably where you're going to end up. But I can't make your path for you. I just want you to consider, what if while you're doing all of that, jiving around, there's that other goal, that more wholesome goal that you're skipping to go have threesomes. If you put the threesomes down and chase that internal goal, it'll take you to better places, probably where you'll get those crazier things more easily, and then you might want them or not want them. But regardless, chase your internal passions, chase your internal goals. That is all the more, infinitely more fulfilling than these material things, money, cars, clothes, women, that society puts out to you. That's the secret that they're hiding from you. Back today in the life, did a home workout Sunday, yesterday, doing some business scheming. That's still going well. I'm following my intuition. So if you guys remember me saying the business scheme is costing me money, but I believe in it, it's going well. It's continuing to thrive. I'm going to keep pushing down that road. Sunday, like I said, I did a home workout, did some stretching. Stretching is important. Today, Monday, went to the gym again this morning. And I want to emphasize to you all that as I've been going to the gym, I've been noticing just different parts of my body, like, whoa, my lower back, I might need to get that stronger. I've been holding my son a lot and my lower back has been feeling a little weak. So now I'm working on my lower back. So don't think of the gym as some intimidating, gotta know what to do, gotta have a trainer. No, if you start walking every day, you'll realize, hey, I get tired after like 15 minutes. So maybe I need to work on my stamina. Or if you start doing some pull-ups or push-ups or whatever machines, you're like, hey, this arm isn't as strong as I want it to be. I'm going to start working on my arms more. You will naturally find how to go to the gym and how to exercise well. So just wanted to put that out there to people who still aren't motivated to exercise. You need to, because got to fight fatigue. That's actually going to be my next video, is managing fatigue. Fatigue is the devil incarnate, and got to build up your stamina to be a good parent, to be a good worker, to make good money, to follow your dreams. You need stamina, you need exercise, you need that blood flow. I think I'm going to stop there. This video is already probably long enough. Thank you all for watching. If you made it this far, thank you. Yodi TV, The Matrix cannot have you on TikTok, and The Matrix can have you. It won't have you. I'll make sure of it. Thanks for watching. See y'all next time.